If you know me, you'll know that I really don't like kit lenses, and I never have. They're typically slow, soft, and overall forgettable. However, I've had the opportunity to photograph with this 24 to 50 millimeter Nikkor lens, and I have to say, over the last probably 2 months and about 2,000 photos, I'm starting to change my mind, and I think that I may have been wrong about kit lenses. And that's not something I say very often. Now, I typically like to add that I don't do any sort of color charting or scientific experiments with any of my lens reviews. I've shot about 2,000 photos on this particular lens, and I really enjoy doing real-world projects, how you and I are going to actually use the lens versus any other sort of testing methods. How does this work when it comes to portraits, when it comes to landscape, when it comes to street photography? So those are the images that I'll be showing you throughout this video, and ultimately how I base my opinion on a piece of photography gear. So what are my first impressions of the Nikkor Z 24 to 50 millimeter kit lens? So when first taking the 24 to 50 out of the box, the very first thing I noticed is how lightweight this is. This comes in at a whopping 195 grams, or about 6.9 ounces. It's super lightweight, it's super tiny and compact, and I actually kind of forget the lens is there once I put it on my camera, and that's a great thing that I'll discuss in just a second. Pulling it out of the box and looking at it, I didn't expect much of this lens initially. And then I put it on my camera, my Z5 II specifically. I began shooting with this lens, realizing how simple it is. This lens basically goes on autopilot, electronic aperture. It's so simple, there's no aperture ring, there's just your focus ring and your focal length zoom ring, 24 to 50. And just as a quick side note, while I do love manually focusing occasionally, I use 100% of the Z5 II's autofocus while using this lens, 100% autofocus. And after a while, I really began to forget about the lens on the front of my camera and started to focus more on the photography, and that's what gear should do. If your gear is too distracting to you, you're not paying attention to what you're actually capturing, and you're thinking more so of your limitations or what you need to do to make this lens work. I think the best photography gear personally is gear that doesn't get between you and your subject. So let's dig a little deeper into the size of this 24 to 50 millimeter lens. Again, 195 grams, it weighs basically nothing. You barely feel it on the front of your mirrorless camera. And that's where this lens really shines. That's the whole reason to use the 24 to 50 f4 to f6.3. You put this lens on your camera and you forget it's there. And now I've noticed that I've been taking my camera and my lens combination in so many other places that typically I would probably just use my phone. But now I have a high quality mirrorless lens on my hip. I don't necessarily have that 24 to 70 range that you would typically have, but I'm also not dealing with that massive 24 to 70 millimeter lens. We will touch on focal length and aperture here in just a second, but this lens really does all I need it to do, and size and weight is really the whole reason to have this lens. It's what it's all about. Now, let's talk a little bit about focal length while we're going down that rabbit hole. 24 to 50. No, we're not really a 24 to 70. We're a little bit smaller when it comes to focal length. You're not getting that compression of your foreground and your background that you would get with an f2.8 lens or that 70 millimeters. But this lens really does everything that I personally, and you probably, need it to do. 24 millimeters. Pop your lens open, goes right to 24 millimeters. This is going to be your architecture. This is going to be your landscape photography. Maybe you even dabble a little bit in street photography. The ability to have this with my Z5 II and poke around a corner and be a little bit more discreet and not as distracting when I'm doing street photography, that's super helpful. I know a lot of people out there love that 35 millimeter. Again, you can go out, you can do some wide portraits, like say more of a narrative portrait where you're trying to tell a story, like an environmental portrait. And then we can zoom in to the beloved 50 millimeters. Yes, it does close down your aperture because it's a variable aperture to 6.3. However, You can do just about anything with a 50mm focal length. You can take great portraits, you can do some sort of establishing shots, but 50mm, everybody loves 50mm. And if you shoot with a 50mm pancake lens or nifty 50, this is about the size of one of those prime lenses anyway. However, you do have that zoom from 24 to 50. So all around, you're getting a super versatile lens that, again, you don't have that extra little bit of zoom of a 24 to 70. However, you're saving so much on weight and on space. That's where this lens really shines. So we've talked about focal length already. Let's touch on the aperture. So as I mentioned before, this is a variable aperture lens. At your widest focal length, 24mm, your aperture will be f4. At your longest focal length, 50mm, your aperture will then slightly close down to f6.3. I will say it's not terrible to shoot with a variable aperture lens. I have tons of them. It's just a minor inconvenience if you're shooting in a very low light scenario where you can't add any sort of artificial light. Now, you may not get the exact same bokeh and super blurry soft background as an f1.2 or an f2.0 even. However, again, handy, durable, versatile. That's where this lens really shines, and it has just a wide range of things you can do with it. And again, zoom into 50mm at f6.3, separate your subject from your background, and sure, you can absolutely achieve that creamy bokeh effect, even with a 24 to 50 f4 to 6.3 lens. Now, the question I know you're all asking is, what is the image quality out of this lens? Ultimately, that's one of the most important things to think about. It's always what I think about. Is this lens going to be tack sharp? Is it going to be sharp from edge to edge, corner to corner? What's the vignetting like? Well, I was honestly surprised in a very positive way at the image quality and the great images I could produce with this lens. Now, I'm not talking about being a good or a bad photographer, working with cheap or expensive equipment, just taking average snapshots. This lens does a fantastic job, and I was very pleasantly surprised. That's not at all what I expect from kit lenses. They're typically soft, they're typically slow. While it is a little bit slow, it is not soft by any means. I can get some super tack sharp images, and yes, that f4 to f6.3 actually does help with that. And on top of being very sharp, this lens has great color reproduction, at least to my eyes. However, I'll let you guys be the judge of that as you take a look at the photos and videos throughout this whole review. But overall, I'm super happy and very pleasantly surprised again by the image quality of the 24 to 50mm Nikkor Z lens. So let's talk a touch more about real world uses of the 24 to 50. And if you're wondering if this lens is for you or not, I think this might help you make that decision. Now, where the 24 to 50 really won me over is versatility. Again, we mentioned lightweight, and when I have a lightweight piece of high quality gear, I'm going to bring it around more. I'm going to shoot with it more. It's not something that's getting in the way between me and the photograph. And again, I will bring up the concept of ease of use when it comes to this lens. It's light, it's small, and it's easy. It's simple. It's simple to bring in so many more places with my Z5 II or my Z6, and a piece of gear that's easy to bring means you're going to bring it around more and you're going to get more photos. So fundamentally, this has changed the way I actually photograph. All photographers, I think, are ultimately looking for something that's lightweight and high image quality, and that's right where the 24 to 50mm sits. So what is there to dislike about the 24 to 50mm lens? Because I always share my honest opinions. Well, the first being, it is made out of plastic. Is that really a negative? No, we should always be taking care of our gear and not chucking it off a cliff. But a lens made out of, say, aluminum would be a little bit more durable. But take care of your camera gear regardless. Now, another con that I typically bring up with kit lenses is that variable aperture. Does it hurt that bad on this lens? No, not really for the types of images you're probably going to be creating with this. When it comes to street photography, that's right in the sweet spot, somewhere typically between f4 and your f8 and be there rule. So I think that actually works out decently, but would an f2.8 constant aperture be nice? Yeah, absolutely. And I also have to say that the 24-50 is nothing super special when it comes to, say, character of a lens. You're not going to be noticing any kind of softening around the edges. It's pretty sharp, not clinically sharp necessarily, but it looks damn good. There's not any sort of special vignette or special character to this lens. It's just a lens that's going to take a nice image and get the job done. So if you're looking for that type of lens with a crazy amount of character, this probably isn't the lens for you. You're probably looking for something like a 135 f1.8 or something way off the wall like a Russian lens or a German lens. You're not necessarily looking for just a 24-50. It's plain, but it's simple and easy to use. So lastly, I just want to say overall, I really enjoy this lens. I was surprised at the image quality. I was surprised at how much I ultimately like this lens and enjoy using it. And I've said this probably 10 times throughout this video, a piece of gear that you like, a piece of gear that is not intrusive or obtrusive, you're gonna shoot with it a lot more. And I say give the 24-50 a try. It's not trying to be anything special. It's just trying to be a solid piece of gear that gets the job done. So I'm curious to know, have you used the 24-50? Is this a lens that you might be looking at, looking for, still doing some research and some comparisons? Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this lens. If you've ever tried it, I'd love to know about your experience. Share your story down below in the comments. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like down below, subscribe for more videos, and as I always say, until next time, get out and go shoot.